Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dr. Ronald Besser. As Faculty Marshal, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the 141st Commencement of Stevens Institute of Technology. As we congratulate today's graduates, their parents and families, we recognize their impressive accomplishments. Each degree candidate has worked diligently to attain the goal that will be realized in today's ceremony. Our ceremony will begin with the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner. I would like to invite the members of the President's Ensemble to the stage to sing our national anthem.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Will the graduates and guests please be seated? For everyone's safety, guests will not be permitted to approach the stage to take photographs during the ceremony. Please silence your cell phones. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Nariman Farvardin, President of Stevens Institute of Technology.
Chairman Babbio, incoming Chairman Rusterholz, members of the Board of Trustees, distinguished guests, faculty, staff, graduates, family, and friends. I am indeed honored to welcome you to the 141st commencement ceremony at Stevens Institute of Technology, and the first such exercise for Stevens to be held here at the Izot Center. I am delighted to inform you that it's raining cats and dogs outside, but you don't need to worry about it. Graduates, we are here in this magnificent gathering only for one reason: to celebrate your success. Today is truly your day. For all that you have achieved, we congratulate you and wish you the best as you commence the next phase of your journey in life. In the midst of celebrating your achievements, our joy would be incomplete if we did not recognize a few special groups of people who helped bring you to this moment. First, your families and friends who are here with us today with pride, anticipation, and joy. We welcome them knowing that none of you would be here without the support, caring, love, and confidence of family members and friends who believed in you, embraced your dreams, and paved the way for your success. This is their day just as much as it is yours. Would all family members of graduates please rise as the graduates join me in thanking all of you? Could I ask the family members and friends to please rise? Thank you all very much. Thank you. And we need to thank your many teachers and mentors here at Stevens. Our remarkable faculty members have devoted their lives to explaining the known and exploring the unknown. And they invited you to join them in the race to the frontiers of knowledge and in innovating solutions to society's biggest problems. Let's take a moment to thank the women and men who shared their knowledge, fueled your curiosity, and taught you how to unleash your intellect and your energy to make the world a better place. Would the faculty emeriti, and the faculty marshal please stand to be recognized? On behalf of the administration of Stevens, I am in your debt for all you do for our students. Please be seated. And now I'm honored to introduce the individual who will receive the highest honor Stevens can confer, the honorary degree of Doctor of Engineering. Before we begin, I'd like to refer you to today's commencement program, which contains the complete text of our honorary degree citation. I will introduce the candidate, and the degree will be conferred by Dr. Lawrence Babbio, Chairman of the Board of Trustees. The recipient of the degree of Doctor of Engineering, honoris causa, and our commencement speaker is Dr. Stephen Boswell. Dr. Boswell, would you please come forward? Dr. Babbio. Mr. Chairman of the Board of Trustees, I have the honor to present to you Dr. Steve Boswell, an engineer and entrepreneur whose impact has made our region and our university stronger. Dr. Steve Boswell, President and CEO of Boswell Engineering, is an exemplar and an inspiration. Due to his significant technical and business achievements, Dr. Boswell has earned a reputation as an astute entrepreneur and engineer of superior skill. He holds numerous certifications, is a registered professional engineer in 28 states, and has helped make this region's highways, bridges, trains, and communities safer, cleaner, and healthier. In 1987, Dr. Boswell assumed the leadership role at Boswell Engineering, the firm founded in 1924 by his grandfather, David, and later operated by his father, Howard. Boswell Engineering has been involved in the design and management of the most important infrastructure and transportation projects in the tri-state area for decades, and has employed four generations of Boswells at one time or another, including Dr. Boswell's daughter, Kristen, the first fourth generation licensed engineer in the nation's history. This is something to remember. Due in large part to Dr. Boswell's leadership, the firm is known and respected far and wide in the engineering community, from New Jersey to Hawaii. An exceptionally generous and active alumnus, Dr. Boswell has served on the Stevens Board of Trustees since 2000, where his wisdom and guidance have contributed enormously to the university throughout a dynamic period in its history. His philanthropy to Stevens has included support for athletic programs, the Kenneth J. Altifer Academic Complex, the Babbio Center, and for a scholarship fund that provides financial support for the studies of undergraduate engineering majors, particularly in civil engineering. For his dedicated service, wise counsel, and inspirational generosity to his alma mater, and for his exemplary achievements as President and CEO of Boswell Engineering, we hereby award Dr. Steve Boswell the Doctor of Engineering honoris causa.
Thank you. By virtue of the authority vested in the trustees of Stevens Institute of Technology, and on their behalf, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy honoris causa and admit you to all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Chairman Babbio, fellow trustees, President Varden, administration, faculty, staff, family, and friends all join me today in congratulating the graduates that we are recognizing with this celebration. You've actually entered a very unique group. I'm not sure you know how unique. It took until March of 2011 before a quarter of the adult population of this country had any college degree. Only 9.4% of the people in this country have any kind of a graduate or professional degree. So you're not 1 in a million, but you're 1 in 11, if you do that math. And in addition, your degrees will confer upon you opportunities as you go forward. Using the most recent statistics available from the Census Department, if you earn a master's degree, you will earn on average 62% more than a person without any college degree or a bachelor's degree. If you have a PhD, you will earn twice what those people with a bachelor's degree earn. And in addition to your earning power, your ability to get a job has gone up dramatically today. Those with a master's have a 50% lower unemployment rate than those with a bachelor's or less. Those with a PhD have a 68% lower unemployment rate than those without those degrees. So you're twice as likely to get a job and 2/3 times as likely to get a job if you have the degrees you're receiving today. And finally, many of you have earned your degrees today in the highest paying fields. The following fields, which many of you are receiving degrees in today: computer engineering, chemical engineering, computer science, mechanical engineering, electrical and electronic engineering, communications engineering, management information systems, business and finance, all rank in the top 10 earning careers in the United States. Now, in deciding what to talk to you about today, it's kind of interesting because this is not about anyone up here today, it's about all of you out there. And I guarantee you, you won't remember much of anything, if anything, of what I have to say today. So I'll be brief so we can get to the important part. But I did think there was something maybe when I was looking for what to say, I read some commencement speeches that were given this year at other schools. And I'll admit it, I was looking to plagiarize. But instead of plagiarizing, I came upon a statement that was made, and it's going to be kind of the theme of what I speak about today. And I'd like to read you this quote. This is a direct quote, because my talk today is kind of a rebuttal to this other speaker. At the commencement of Ohio State 2 weeks ago, the speaker said the following. This is a direct quote: "Reject a country in which only a lucky few prosper." I'm here telling you today that luck and prosperity are not related. They are related if you just won the lottery in Florida, and they are related if your parents are very wealthy. But other than that, prosperity and luck are not linked. So if they're not linked, what are they linked to? Well, Abraham Lincoln said it very well. He said, luck is what happens when opportunity meets preparation. So in other words, luck and success aren't linked, preparation and success are linked. And what are those things that you can do to prepare? Well, the first one's easy, and you've all done it already in your lives. It's hard work. Thomas Edison, perhaps the most prolific inventor ever in this country, said that genius is only 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. It's about hard work. Malcolm Gladwell wrote a very famous book now called Outliers. And he came up with a theory which he tested over and over again, which said that competency in anything, no matter what it is, takes 10,000 hours. And he actually used examples of people you wouldn't think took 10,000 hours. Bill Gates had more than 12,000 hours of programming experience because he was fortunate enough to have access to a lab when he was a kid. The Beatles, maybe a band you never heard of but was big in my generation. The Beatles, they were an instant hit in America in 1964 when they came on the Ed Sullivan Show. He went back and checked. They had more than 10,000 hours of practice in the small clubs in Liverpool, England, before they came over here and became famous. And what he said essentially is if you want to be good at it, it takes 10,000 hours. But it's not just 10,000 hours, it's also the right attitude. I mentioned Thomas Edison before. It's estimated by some people that Edison, in fact by Edison himself, he estimated he failed more than 10,000 times while trying to invent various things. Others estimated that he failed 3,700 times just to invent the incandescent light bulb. And when they asked Edison about that, he said, how do you feel about having failed 3,700 times? He said, I didn't fail. I found 3,700 ways not to make a light bulb. And that's the right attitude. You have to learn from your mistakes, because that 10,000 hours I mentioned before with Malcolm Gladwell, make sure you're getting 10,000 hours of experience and not 1 hour 10,000 times. Learn from your mistakes, go forward, and don't repeat those mistakes. Another important thing for your success is mental agility. There's a much overused trite phrase now, think outside the box. All right? It's correct, it's just overused. I'll give you an example of thinking outside the box. When NASA first started sending astronauts into space, they had a huge problem. They found out that pens don't work in zero gravity. NASA spent multiple years and $12 million developing the zero gravity pen. It writes upside down, it writes on any surface, it writes in zero gravity, it writes from 0 degrees to 300 degrees centigrade. The Russians used a pencil, all right? So just think outside the box sometimes, use your brain. A little mental agility is always a good thing. And part of mental agility, I think, is to recognize you've just begun today. You have to be a lifelong learner. The jobs that you have now may not exist in 20 years. The jobs that you have in 20 years from now may not exist today. I know I'm dating myself, but in my lifetime, they discovered the structure of DNA. Watson and Crick discovered the double helix structure of DNA in 1953. Well, today, you watch CSI, we talk about DNA testing. You hear about genetic testing. You hear about even genetic medicines. None of that was possible until the structure of DNA was elucidated. Another thing, when I was, during my lifetime, they invented not only the integrated circuit, but also the transistor. Your smartphone has more than 1 trillion times the computing power of the computers that put men on the moon in 1969. More than 1 trillion, and at a cost which is, just figure out, I think everybody here knows Moore's law, right? It goes off geometrically, the computing power goes up tenfold and the price stays the same every year. And that's been going on and has not been broken yet. So hopefully the best thing you've gotten from your education here is the ability to think, and that gives you the mental agility. And speaking of thinking, I'd like to give you one other word that some people may not agree with me. In fact, I read Narriman's speech and he doesn't, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I think it's important to have a little skepticism. A little skepticism, not cynicism. A cynic doesn't believe anything. A skeptic, however, questions things and tries to validate. How many of you in here use WikiLeaks? Wikipedia, rather, I'm sorry, Wikipedia, yeah. Wikipedia. Don't put your hand up, it's not a badge of honor. Wikipedia can be edited by anyone. By anyone. Why would you go look something up that someone else can write whatever they want? How can you ever be sure? There's an article just appeared about a month ago. A gentleman read his own Wikipedia page, and it said that he got the idea to start his newspaper while sitting along a river in Prague. The problem was he had never started a newspaper, and he'd never been to Prague. So be a little skeptical when you go forward. I'll give you an example of what's going on right now in this country. And the numbers I'll give you, I'm an engineer, so I have a numbers curse. You probably picked up on that already. These numbers come from the Congressional Budget Office. We all hear about the sequester, how bad it is, how government's going to get cut, dramatically scaled back. We have to cancel public tours of the White House. We have to lay off air traffic controllers. We have to close national parks. I'm going to give you some numbers, and you draw your own conclusion. According to the Congressional Budget Office, without sequester, in the next decade, Washington will spend $46 trillion with no sequester. With sequester, it's reduced from $46 trillion to $44 trillion. That's a cut. The last decade, however, it was $29 trillion. So sequester means instead of increasing spending 58%, we're only going to increase it 52%, and we call that a cut. In my business, when we cut, we cut. A cut means you spend less money, not more money. So just when you hear things over and over again, there's a lot of echo chamber that goes on in the media. And so when you hear things, you think that if you hear it 100 times, it must be true. But if you hear something false 100 times, it doesn't make it true. And speaking of being true, I think one of the things I can give you, if there's one thing you do remember here, although again I doubt it, but if there's one thing, integrity. Integrity. Live your life with integrity. Be the honest and ethical person in everything you do. I remember that old expression, ethics is doing the right thing even when nobody's watching. Do it for yourself. You'll feel better about it, and I guarantee you'll be looked upon as a leader. Because people don't want to follow a person who they can't trust. So if you want to be a leader, if you want to be any kind of a human being, be ethical in everything you do. And speaking of being a leader, many of you are going to assume leadership roles or already have assumed leadership roles. I'd like to tell you how in the military you can give an order that says the following in 1 second. You can say to the troops in 1 second, I want you to run 100 yards, scale a fence, run another 100 yards, go through a stream, run a half a mile up a hill, turn left, and take the building. And the way to give that instruction in 1 second is just to say, follow me. Lead by example. Don't ask other people to do things you wouldn't do. Make sure you do them in front of them. Let them see that you're willing to do whatever they do. And one final point I'd like to make is whenever you can in your life, give back. Give back to those institutions and people that have made you what you are. You will feel very good about it, and the people that you give it to will benefit from your time or your money. I know President Varden and Chairman Babbio would think I was remiss if I didn't mention that one of the places you might want to give back is Stevens. It is a great school. All of you, I'll tell you this right now, none of you covered the cost of your education. None of you. Even those of you that took out student loans, even those of you that your company paid a piece of it, the tuition doesn't cover it. It's because of philanthropy of people that care about you, that care about generating the future generations of leaders. They care about that they support Stevens. And I'd encourage you, if you have the opportunity to do it with either your money or your time or both. So in summary, if you use the education you've received along with hard work, the right attitude, mental agility, a healthy skepticism, integrity, leading by example, there's no limit to what you can achieve. And please remember Stevens along the way as you do it. Congratulations, and again, remember, make your own luck as you go out to lead the world. Congratulations to all of you.
Dr. Boswell, thank you so very much for your thoughtful, inspiring, and most appropriate remarks. I am sure our graduates have taken a lot from your speech. I know I have. I would remember not to write my speeches in pen, but pencil, and not to use Wikipedia as much as I have in the past. But your life story and accomplishments are a source of inspiration to me and to our students and graduates. At this point, Eileen Ding, a Master of Science candidate in the class of 2013 and also past president of the Graduate Student Council, will present a gift to Dr. Boswell. Eileen, where are you?
Thank you for such an inspiring speech. On behalf of the class of 2013, I would like to present you a gift on this special day. Please accept this original painting of the torchbearer statue done by a local artist, Raymond Smith. The torchbearer statue is an iconic symbol for students at Stevens, and we wish that when you look at the painting, you'll remember this special day. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Why don't you stand here with me?
We want to show it to the audience. Thank you very much, Eileen. And Dr. Boswell, thank you again. As you all know, a standard requirement of a president's commencement speech is the deployment of a few words of advice. So allow me to conclude my remarks by sharing with you 4 specific thoughts. I know that you're impatiently waiting to receive your degrees and be recognized, and I promise to be very brief. First, you are ambitious, energetic, and ready to conquer the world. As you embark on the next phase of your journey, think big, be bold, and think about your responsibility to make the world a better place. As John Kennedy once said, the problems of the world can't be solved by skeptics or cynics whose horizons are limited by the obvious realities. We need men, and I should add women, who can dream of things that never were. At the same time, remember, most of us miss out on life's big prizes, the Nobel Prize, the Pulitzer, Oscars, but we're all eligible for life's small pleasures. A pat on the back, a 4-pound bass, is Dick McGee here? A full moon, an empty parking space, especially on the campus of Stevens, a crackling fire, a glorious sunset, a hot soup, a cold beer. Don't obsess over life's grand awards. Enjoy its tiny delights as well. Second, remember the road to success is paved with disappointments and failures. I am echoing what Dr. Boswell just said in different words. I don't know in what form and shape they will come for you, but they will come. Don't let these disappointments influence your determination to succeed. Never, never let your failures go to your heart or your successes to your head. Every time you meet a major challenge or encounter an obstacle, remember you're getting one step closer to your destination. Remember the difference between stumbling blocks and stepping stones is how you use them. As my wife always tells me, tough times will never last. Tough people will. Third, carry out your duties with integrity, honesty, and the highest ethical standards. I'm echoing you one more time. Alan Simpson once said, if you have integrity, nothing else matters. If you don't have integrity, nothing else matters. When you see something bad happening, it is your moral responsibility to put personal interest aside and take the side of truth and honesty. Remember, it is much better to be trusted and respected than it is to be liked. Let me quote from Dante's Inferno. This is a quote that I love. The hottest place in hell is reserved for people who maintain their neutrality in times of great moral crisis. Finally, keep in touch with your alma mater and make us better through your involvement. Come back for alumni weekends, commencement ceremonies, or the Stevens Innovation Expo. Or come back and join us at a soccer game or a lacrosse game. Or come back one early morning to watch the sunrise over the magnificent Manhattan skyline. Or come back to simply say hello and share your success stories. You will make us very happy. Congratulations to all graduates and best wishes to all of you. Thank you.
We ask our guests to note that Doctor of Philosophy candidates will be recognized in the order that the names appear in your commencement program. Names of individuals not attending today's ceremony will not be read. Please remain in your seats and keep the aisles clear. I'd like to remind you that for everyone's safety, guests will not be permitted to approach the stage for taking photographs. Provost Korfiatis, will present the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Babbio will confer the degrees. Each candidate will receive their diploma from Dr. Favarden.
Good morning. Will the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy please rise? Mr. Chairman of the Board of Trustees, on behalf of the great faculty of Stevens Institute of Technology, I present to you, sir, these candidates whose names appear in today's commencement program. They have satisfactorily completed all the requirements for the academic degrees which I now ask you to confer upon them. The members of this group are recommended as candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I therefore ask you, sir, to confer upon each of them the degree of Doctor of Philosophy with such distinction as merited.
Thank you. By virtue of the authority vested in the trustees of Stevens Institute of Technology, and on their behalf, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy as indicated in the official program, admit you to all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Good morning. My name is Dr. Charles Suffel. I'm Dean of Graduate Academics, and it is my honor to invite the PhD candidates to the stage where they will receive their diplomas. Afterward, candidates, please return to your seats and remain seated until the completion of the commencement ceremonies.
Robert Lowe Barnett.
This is Corfiatis, who has family member. Do I say this name first? I say this or this?
Peter G. Corfiatis. George Corfiatis, Provost and University Vice President, will present the diploma along with Dr. Favarden to his son, Peter G. Corfiatis.
This is him.
Luis E. Ortega. Veronica Ortega, web and print designer in the school systems and enterprises, will present the diploma along with Dr. Favarden to her husband, Luis E. Ortega. Lisbeth Robizetti Concho. Wei Shu. Yu Long Jin. Jin Wei Li. Go Chi Lo. Chi Chen Weng. Shi Len Chen. Polina Pinksahova. Jefe Bao. Norpath Persirkan. Chao Chen. Hangbu Liu. Liang Queng. Daniel Adam Mayer. Chao Kai. Kitsuri B. Harath. Solomon G. Nayagun. Fei Jian. Yi Wang. Narendra Joshi. Iukule Omosabi. Alicia Mahan. Ruben Paredes. Thomas Manza Lanon. Lakshmi Ishwara Chandra Vijasekar. Christy Lee Luttrell. Alexander Zook.
They just have to stay in they have to stay in order as much as possible for the photographer. They have to stay in order.
Provost Korfiatis will now present the candidates for advanced degrees in the Cross Institute program in Technical Leadership, College of Arts and Letters, Charles V. Schaefer Jr. School of Engineering and Science, School of Systems and Enterprises, and Wesley J. Howe School of Technology Management. Dr. Babbio will confer the degrees.
Will all those individuals eligible for a master's degree please rise? That means all of you. Mr. Chairman of the Board of Trustees, on behalf of the great faculty of Stevens Institute of Technology, I present to you, sir, certain graduate students whose names appear in today's commencement program. They have completed all the requirements for the degree of Masters of Art, Masters of Science, Masters of Engineering, Masters of Business Administration, and Masters of Technology Management. I therefore ask you, sir, to confer upon each of them the appropriate degree.
Thank you. By virtue of the authority vested in the trustees of Stevens Institute of Technology, and on their behalf, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree of Master of Art, Master of Science, Master of Engineering, Master of Business Administration, and Master of Technology Management as indicated in the official program, and admit you to all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
It is now my pleasure to invite to the stage our first graduates of the Cross Institute program in Technical Leadership. Please stand and come forward to receive your diplomas. Only the names of those attending today's ceremony will be read.
Nicholas David Longo. Patrick Ewing. Hans-Jürgen Loken. Stephen Scott. Edward Diaz. Sean Glenn McCaughey. Joshua Shane Dews. Gail Calvert Raper. Angel Renee McHenrick. Pauline Clark. Richard James Whitty.
Good morning. My name is Dr. Lisa Dolling, and I have the pleasure of serving as the Dean of the College of Arts and Letters at Stevens. It is my distinct honor to present to you the candidate in the College of Arts and Letters who has successfully completed the degree in Master of Arts.
Aaron M. Rose. David S. Rose, friend of Stevens Institute of Technology, will present the diploma along with Dr. Farvarden to his son, Aaron Mark Rose.
Good morning. I'm Michael Bruno, the Dean of the Charles V. Schaefer Jr. School of Engineering and Science, and it is my distinct honor to present the candidates for the degree of Master of Science and Master of Engineering. Only the names of those attending will be read.
Paul Berman. Kevin Anthony Ruta. Daniel Colineri. Joseph P. Troncal. Danielle Holden. Christopher S. Francis. Blama B. Colley. Leon Yin. Daniel Eliades. Lee Fan. Ji Song. Wanning Liu. Jose Jia. Michael D. Sikanofi. Yu Chen Chao. Joshua Welt. Meta Jigna. Hetben Hetorabi Bat. Paumek Panchal. Samira Valvete. Pangcha Galushimi Sunradam. Chao Zeng. Xuan Wan. Tao Zeng. Chao Xia. Hong Yu Q. Xu Han Hu. Jeffrey W. Cochran. Chen Liu. Rencheng Wang. Yanwei Zheng. Di Hu. Chao Ling Son. Nan Weng. Dali Huang. Pallavi Kamapurkar. Swetha Vutla, Lashmi Priya Pulukuri, Yupeng Shi, Da Chuan Zhao, Bo Yu, Muhammad A. Akhtar, Ansar Kruashi, Sandeep Gola, Sranti Indpuru, Haratha Bashyam, Bin Huang, Ray Fan, Honglin Han, Zhao Chen, Ren Huan Song, Jian Li, Wen King Jin, Matma Darshan Kitakar, Radhika Bis, Ankit Verma, Nashit Arvind Shah, Pratit Yogesh Joshi, Chandu Kumar, Aditya Gautam, Anchit Chowdhury, Swapnil Sanjay Nalawar, Nikhilesh Gantasala, Chanika Penmitha, Hao Keng, Daniel McMillan, Joseph L. Natali, Asudullah Hussain Sanjar, Shraddha Chandrasekhara Kule, Rashmi Vanessa Fernandez, Manan Pravukumar Ahuja, Vinyaya Vishwanath, Ramitha Jaya Kumar, Sumitra Vinaran Sathurgaji, Mohammed Haib Hakim Said, Anup Kumar Patel, Shashank Reddy Kontham, Fanidra Sakumari, Shinle Kao, Hui Peng Chan, Lian Yu, Feng Gao, John Stryker, Binudu Swarpara, Namga, Farhat Naz, Nicholas Alexio, Brittany J. Nyes, Taimi A. Heredia, Nanji Patel, Hyung Min Nugent, Mahed Fry Mosai Alsara, Rafiq Eldali, Matthew J. Cruz, Jonathan Sharf II, Corey M. Malloy, Gianmarco Ferrante, Peter R. Rushinkevich, Gabrielle R. Guanelli, Adolfo Gonzalez Jr., Chia Wei Weng, Benji Liu, Si Lu Huang, Ken Bodzak, Fatumata Dembele, Riti Vijay Sawant, Mayurkurma B. Vandra, Himal Narendra Patel, Bhavik B. Desai, Jigesh Hashrade Modi, Hetvi Sunil Seth, Siha Panjukumar Pandya, Deepali Kaushal Shah, Sarah Amadi Ruspehani, Kisu, Soyar Chen, Cheng Shao Shi, Hui Fan, Wen Bin Li, Feng Din, Meng Tan, Mo Hyun Lee, Ling Ling Sheng, Pallavi Shekarlakar, Jian Peng Chen, Bo Wang, Jian Mao Sheng, Piotr Cernowski, Gaurav Kumar S. Patel, Girish Kumar M. Lad, Kunal S. Shah, Pravna H. Siddhapura, Arpita Patel, Yang Sun, Shao Chengzong, Shao Shanji, Shu Young Deng, Chen Wen, Wen Wang, Dong Xing, Shao Qi, Yi Yu, Ahmad Bajarwan, Annapurna Kearney, Corey Lloyd Spencer, Peilin Zhai, Shishi Han, Yang Weng, Jia Jianchen, Jason Borrell, Lindsay Catherine Deckard, Michael Thomas Ranieri, Rajesh Sharma, Victor Vanoya, Scott Andrew Bevan, She Dai, Lie Zheng, Yi Huang, Hui Go, Kong Hee, Xiao Yang Meng, Teng Fei Jin, Xiao Yang, Chia Yu Ma, Wajuyen Thi Golonath, Li Chen Wang, Gong Jian, Jia Hong Jen, Walberto Molina, Xiu Tian, Xu Zheng, Pengfi Xu, Ji Seng, Shewei Wang, Wei Wan, Rui Shan, Sedina Omar Guro, Kittipang Usakarb, Somkiat Jam Klin, Stephen D. Stellick, Bing Quinn Liu, Zicheng Zheng, Xiao Lei Lu, Yinze Hu, Chen Zheng, Wen Chi Liu, Chong Lu, Qian Zheng, Zhen Yang, Ming Zhao, Chan Wan Zhou, Gen Heng, Huan Gao, Ye Qian, Michael Kowal, Yang Yang Shi, Jing Gao, Washu Weng, Viral L. Patel, Carl Frank Gravely, Kai Weng, Joanna N. Ames, Chen Chen Wang, Ting Mao, Yang Ji, Tosif A. Khan, Joseph Tiseo, Andy Moy, Matthew Lucas, Varsha Menon, Tielang Wu, Bo Chao So, Ne Cheng, Alexander J. Dan, Henry Z. Volante Jr., Kathleen Irwin. Shabina Banu Manish Mansuri. Himali Kunal Patel. Henry Viswit. Larry B. Giancini. Parin Panya. Hardik A. Shah. Michael J. Venditti III. Scott James Snyder. Jingxi Zheng. Yang Wang. Daniel A. Svoboda. Zhengqing Wang. Yipen Zheng. Boyan Chen. Xing Hao Pan. Seng Shu Huan. Alan K. Lin. Xuan Lin. Chushi Lee. Shabo Wang. Jing He. Jing He. Zheng Zhang. Yan Jiang. Shao Shi Jian. Zhenghua Gao. Lauren Gelmetti. Alex R. Palakowski. Jeremy Mark Baddock. Andrew Abadir. Alexandra F. Lisi. Matthew Misner Motley. Kevin Tevis. Ong Lee. Pareth Grishkumar Patel. Ibitomola Damiola Olabi. Bo Yang. Bo Zo. Daeung Jia. Yun Wu. Hao Yang Shao. Yang Chen. Chen Hui Zhao. Yiying Zhao. Tian Lu. Jia Hai Zheng. Simbri Rai Munjoma. Danielle Renee Sack. Nakul T. Pradeep. Shashank Shiku. Siran Hao.
Welcome. I am Dean Dinesh Verma of the School of Systems and Enterprises, and it is now my privilege to present candidates from the School of Systems and Enterprises for the degrees of Master of Engineering and Master of Science. Only the names of those attending today's ceremony will be read.
Not this one.
Faiz Ahmed Alamari. Gregory F. Novielli. Atraf Mutfadi. Vincent Di Giovanni. Kevin Peacock. Rafael Olamiti Ankinsete III. Olivia Achen. Jayashri Reddy Kundur. Ganga Pereira. Darshan Bansal. Armel Castano Salientes. Chen Jie Chao. Jin Zhou. Keru Zhao. Ru Zhao. Shen Sun. Yimao Shao. Sichen Lu. Ranish Achera. John Poyo. Ing Jung Jang. Kaning So. Yong Hui Huang. Chu Han Lin. Chu He Lin. Xuan Cho. Zoe Cho. Jing Ye Wang. Jin Yi Go. In Chao Chen. Hui Cheng Yang. Santosh Babu. Stephanie Zonta Nakam. Charles Joseph Gensheimer. Ming Zhao. Jing Yuang. Kai Liang. Ye Tan. Zichen Chao. Sri Lakshmi Patki. Benham Esfabod. Yi Chang Wang. Chin Wu. Sathwik Naran. Anchi Lu. Xinjia Zhang. Hong Kai Sao. Jesse Harris. Greg Nudebauer. Brian Edward O'Hagan. Victor Lipnicki. Paul Christopher Immel. Brendan C. Ford. Jason M. Durazio. Carl William Dam. Matthew J. Cunningham. David Scott Moyer. Eleanor E. Panico. Nicholas Larry Stay. Kate A. Konzel. Adam Skripchak. Victoria A. Feast. Avril A. Madden. Samuel Michael Johnson. Ching Li. Jing Hu. Yi Jia. Shang Lu Liang. James Norman Wallen. Devin C. Chin. Razia Lafelen Saremi. Keor M. Bat. Dwiti Arvind Patel. Cha Wei Lee. John J. Santinello. Mauricio Cuadros. Michael John Murphy. Jonathan O. Yao. Court Millar. Brandon A. Flon. Damon Nasser Hashash. Bullet Bob Demaria. Christine C. Ho. Ravi Dilip Javia. Kieran J. Walters. Jeanette Dima. Zachary W. Carr.
I am Dean Gregory Prastakos of the Wesley J. House School of Technology Management, and it is my honor to present the graduates from the Wesley J. House School of Technology Management for the degrees of Master of Business Administration, Master of Technology Management, and Master of Science. Only the names of those attending today's ceremony will be read.
Christopher J. Winkler.
Travato.
Jeffrey N. Travato. Alvaro A. Barrios. Alan K. Chan.
Maturana.
Mark Joseph Maturana. Rachel Fingeroth. Catherine Rebecca Campbell. Francis Michael Dolan. Ruben B. Kapham. Jason L. Canterberg. Priyanka Sarajan.
Black.
Stephen M. Blyberg. Punasarang. Jennifer A. Pavlik.
I know, I just want to
Joseph J. Gorman. Elias A. Pinto. Pravina Maradani. Silvio Stella. Aruvadiel Venagopal. J. Ding. Satish Kumar Hosnagrat. Anuj Hiren Gandhi.
Harshal Nilesh.
Harsho Nilesh Sutaria. Adora Amechi Agim. Brian Andruchik. Morgan Paul McCormick. Salvatore John Iacarino.
Friedman.
Mitchell Friedman. Eric M. Anderson. Anthony Robert Nagara. Sally Hanna. Rita J. Murray.
Salvanto.
Paulette Salvanto.
Tucci.
Rochelle A. Tucci. Henry William Bourne III. Danmati Bola. Hanuf Fahad Sahad. Julia Gia. Shruti Talukar. Thomas Imart. Thomas Filippo. Eric S. Silverman. Henry Patrick Live. Mohammed Mestari. Yang Hoon Kim. Yoon Hae King, a lecturer in the Chemistry, Chemical Biology, and Biomedical Engineering Department, will present the diploma along with Dr. Favardin to her husband, Yang Hoon Kim. Nikisha Nicolette McCain. Hino D. Joshi. Payal Saxena. Shukuria El Agad. Martin John Gibson. Shannon Eileen Donaghy. Orad Azmude Hemadi. Omesad Mushefra. Malaka Ann Masillo. Theodore Bergler. Brett Andrew Today. Justin R. Grip. Remo Springley. Joseph F. Eduardo. Freddie A. Mendieta. Frederick David Sanderson. Shen Mei Tai. Natasha Marie Ulrich. Omar J. Kirkamo. Jennifer Meidel. Ryan Maroli. Palka S. Patel. Yu Han. Xu Xiaoshui. Yao Zhang. Hui Jingan. Jiang Wang. Migdalia Seguino. Francisco Xavier Baez. Deng Ho Choi. Swaroop Desai. Anisha Chelani. Aisha Cook. Lucy. Jen Fei Wang. Jungyang Zhang. Shan Huang. Bo Yu Chou. Su Ran Wang. Shui Wang. Archana Arantaramu. Shivani Matu. Antoinette Renu Arulraj. Neha Gupta. Mamta Krishnamurti. Varunda Patel. Vishnapriya Vijay Kumar. Sindhu Veligapudi. Anvita Achera. Zewa Wana. Archik Goyal. Rumit A. Shiriks. Narayan Parthasarthi. Olufunsu Olu Osinoo. Apsara Shriyam. Cornelius Heck. Udang Tung. Olga Marie Toledo de Leon. Amber Spring Gell. Srinivas Kuchibatla. Manuel Toledo. Kevin Allen. David F. Katusa. Robert S. Akins. Patrick Dubé. Virginia Leanne Clancy. Peggy Doherty Hayes. Kevin Bonilla. Min Tu Huynh. Peter Osowski. Sharish S. Kale. Robert S. Brand. Bhavish Parekh. Brian Glenn Dunning. Hanif Remtula. Janet G. Betcha. Eric M. Fullington. Kenneth Joe Ballou. Julianne Barbara Dieterle. Lumien Shwiti. Shaquille N. Dyer. Hari Kandalam. Lester McPherson. Ninoska Rodriguez. Balajati Nachumechari. Myra A. Para. Thomas Magnifico. Kim Caballero. Kim Caballero. Sang Wook Lee. Andre Ali James. Richard Perkins. Heidi Malene Gutierrez Padugan. Baliji Mariapan. Stephen J. Sculler. Ramesh Marimuthu. Kalesh Bhatt. Mohammad Amir Ali. Richard Haas. Karthikeyan Thaikarajan. Michael Penagente. Robert Thomas Urbanovich. Erica Martinez. Pedro Potorial. Inderpreet Singh. Adrian Shadinsky. Victoria E. Catarzulo. Frank Catarzulo, Director of Computer Services, will present the diploma along with Dr. Favardin to his daughter, Victoria Catarzulo. Joseph A. Henchensky. Andre F. Salfarli. Somo Ang. Donabel Conanan Quintos. Carolyn A. Knight. Roxanne Y. Brown. Corette Palmer. Rajesh Ranjan. David Rifkind. Hemender Parasmal. Daniel Rivera. Ramya Sataraju. Anuja Rakesh Shah. Oscar M. Garces. Siva Sadhu. Sneh Patel. Chen Chao Pan. Ray Pong Lee. Sing Ho Jiang. Morkin. Barris? Barris Morkin. Rivik Jaswal Kota. Pradeep Mahendrapa Khosmene. Sumit Sharma. Jugal Rajesh Shah. Adash Charam Shetty. Sudhir Madana. Christopher Lance. Muzaffar Sipsugolu. Edward F. Mystic. Sanjok Sivarama Pillai. Srinit Terla. Vivek Kumar. Christopher Anthony Jarrett. Chao Sui. Tai Ho Fu. Abdul Kahir Demir.
Congratulations to all who have been recognized here today. I wish to also thank our deans, Dean Suffel, Dalling, Bruno, Verma, and Prestakos. All, please rise and join the President's Ensemble in the singing of the Alma Mater. You can find the words in the last page of your commencement booklet. The academic procession will leave the venue. Graduates may take their caps and gowns with them when they leave this afternoon. Graduates are invited back to the Stevens campus in Hoboken to pick up the diplomas. Will the audience please remain standing until the academic recessional has filed out of the venue. Thank you all for attending the 141st commencement of Stevens Institute of Technology. And again, congratulations to all who have become Stevens alumni today.
you.